Hello YouTube. So last time we ended up with at the login screen and we just installed Debian 12 and that's exactly where we are now. So we're going to log in and in a second we should be logged in and here we are. This is Gnome, very vanilla, and we have the welcome screen. So when it's loaded up we're going to click on the welcome screen. We're just going to go through the welcome screen and this we won't be doing much here. We'll just be confirming some settings. And then we're going to actually do something a little bit more interesting than what we have been doing. So first thing we do is we just confirm this, sorry, we confirm this to United Kingdom. We go next. And English UK, type in, and we just check the keyboard layout's correct. Yep, that looks good. So we click next. I don't want location services on, so we're going to turn those off. I'm not going to connect any online accounts, so we skip, and that is it for the welcome screen. So we just go say start using, and we got like a blank desktop with a Debian background there for background. Competition every year, I think, and they've got a load of backgrounds. I don't really care for many of them. However, the system has reminded us that we've got some updates to install, and that's the first thing we're going to do. So we could do it through Software Center. However, we're going to do it through the terminal because that's the way I prefer doing it. So, and also that way always works. I don't particularly like the GUI tools for a lot of system management, and I prefer doing it on the command line. So we're just going to go activities, and we're going to start typing terminal, and we'll get this. It's the middle one we want. We don't want the Thai terminal unless you can speak Thai. So we're just going to click the terminal, and we've got a fairly basic terminal. Now we're going to be using app to update the system, and to just explain what we're going to do, and we're going to actually just check out what apt does. So if we could do man apt, get the man page, and first thing you typically see people doing is sudo apt update and then sudo apt upgrade when updating the system. So let's actually see what that means. So it says update. Update you use downloaded package information for all configured sources. Other commands operate on this data, e.g. perform package upgrades or search in and display details about all the packages available for installation. So what this does, it basically just downloads and updates all the package information. And then when you do upgrade, it says here, so upgrade is used to install available upgrades of all the packages currently installed in the system from sources configured via sources list. 5. We'll get into how man pages work on a later video, but for now, we don't need to do that quite yet. And then it says new packages will be installed if required to satisfy dependencies, but existing packages will never be removed. If an upgrade for a package requires the removal of an installed package, the upgrade for this package isn't performed. Right. And then sometimes you see full upgrade. Full upgrade performs the function of upgrade, but will remove currently installed packages if this is needed to upgrade the system as a whole. So there's update to update the information that Outgate uses to do the upgrades and searches, and then upgrade does the actual it will upgrade the system, and full upgrade will update everything, even if it needs to delete some packages to fully update the system. Typically, you only need upgrade, and it will warn you if it's holding back packages. So to get out of the man page, you just press Q for quit, and we're back at the command prompt. So to do any updates, you need to use sudo, or root. But if you remember from the previous video, we set Debian up to use to have the root account disabled. We're going to be using a sudo, so we're just going to do sudo update, and we have to type our password in. And this usually takes not very long. There we go. And it actually goes and says 192 packages can be updated. Run app list upgraded, we'll see them. We could do that, but I'm just going to do an upgrade. And also it has a note here. Repository Debian bootware changed its firmware component value from non-free to non-free firmware. I'm going to go get into that in the next video. And all non-free firmware is basically when you have your drivers for say things like wireless cards or graphics cards. Typically they have a kernel driver and a firmware. And the firmware is not open source, where the driver typically is. And Debian tries to, by default, everything is open source. However, if you don't have that firmware, the functionality of the hardware is typically reduced as a result. Usually performance, or it just might not work at all. And this, in previous versions of Debian towards 12, this could be a bit tricky to work around. I won't get into that too much because it just isn't relevant anymore, because we have this non-free firmware component in our package sources. So what we're going to do is just do an upgrade. And we've got 470. We've got a lot of packages upgraded, and these all seem to be Firefox language packs and LibreOffice language packs. And you can see here, like most of these things are LibreOffice, and these appear to be language packs, and the same for Firefox. And these ones down here, these are like Linux headers, the Linux image. So this and some bits and pieces, other bits and pieces. So we're just going to say, yeah, we want to update everything. Why not? And this usually takes not very long, to be honest. Now we've got the system updated. What we're going to do is we're just going to reboot, and we could do that simply by just going restart, and we confirm that, and we're just going to do a restart. And we log back in. And we're going to make this a little bit nicer for ourselves to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is increase the screen resolution, because this is quite low. And I'm going to put it to 19, basically hit full HD. I'm going to apply that and keep changes. Increase that so we can get rid of the horrible border. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Gnome is, I think, it's pretty decent out the box. However, there's a couple plugins and icons I install that I prefer, and I'm just going to go through those now. But before we do that, I'm going to turn on dark mode, because I do not like light mode. So to do that, you go settings and appearance and dark mode, and we're in dark mode, which I prefer. And then we close this. However, if we open a terminal, so we might open our terminal. See, this is still in a light theme. So what we can do is we can go tweak Flatpaks, and there's an additional tool that's installed. And this is very useful. I'll show you why. So we open this up, and we bring that into the center, and it says legacy applications, and we literally just go say that Awata Dark. I think it's Awata. I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce it. And put that dark, and now our terminal's dark. So we've now got like a really nice dark theme. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Windows title bars. And you'll notice in Gnome, there's no maximize and minimize. I prefer having these buttons. So I'm just going to enable them. You can enable it through this tweaks tool. And on the top bar, I like having the weekday. So we've got like it says what day it is, date and time, which is quite nice. And then I think that's pretty much it for here. I don't think there's anything else. No, I think we're good. So I'm going to install 2 plugins for Gnome. And the first one I'm going to install is Dash to Dock. So we can install that through the package manager. So we're going to go sudo. Make this a bit bigger so people can see easier. Sudo apt search dash to dock. I think it is. And I didn't actually need to do sudo. You can use the search without that. So it's found Gnome shell extension dash to dock. That's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to copy that. And then we do definitely need sudo for this because we're all installing an extra packaging system. Gnome shell dash to dock. And we install that, and that's now installed. And then there's another one. There's the Ubuntu app indicators. And that gives you like a Windows task tray with background applications such as like Slack, Discord, Dropbox are shown up there and their status. I don't know why Gnome doesn't have something similar out of the box. There's probably many complaints about that with the Gnome team. So we're gonna install that. So if we clear the terminal, we're gonna do sudo. Oh, we don't need to do that. We do app search app indicators. And we get like a lot of results here. But you can see here we've got Gnome shell extensions app indicator. So if we copy that and we do sudo apt install. Now, those are now installed. However, Gnome doesn't know about them. So if we go to extensions here, they won't be listed. I'm absolutely sure they won't be listed, and I don't believe they are. No, they're not. So we'll close this, and the easiest way to refresh this list is basically to log in and log out. So if we click log out, and we log back in, and we go extensions, and we're going to enable dash to dock, and that's now enabled. And we're going to find the app indicators, Ubuntu app indicators. Now, trust me, it is running. We just don't have anything running there yet. So we can close this. There's other plugins that are sort of like provided by default, at least in Debian and in most distros where I've used Gnome. I'm not going to enable a lot of these because I don't particularly find I need to use them. So I'm just going to close this. Oh, actually, I'm not. I was wrong. So what I want to do is I want to configure dash to dock a little bit. So you go settings, and I like to have it up on the left, and I like it to go all the way from top to bottom. So panel mode, extend to the screen edge, done. Uh, for this resolution, I think those icons are a little bit big, so let's put them down to 32, maybe to 24. That seems good. Um, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do turn off this intelligent auto hide. I do not like it. And we're going to go to appearance, shrink the dash, save space by reducing padding and the border radius. So we're going to add that. And also we're going to make these indicators a little bit easier to see. So I put them, I turn it to squares, and then it's sort of like on the side there. And that is pretty much it configured. And so we've got like I think a pretty functional desktop now. And now I'm going to install FlatHub, and there's going to be a couple of applications we're going to install with FlatHub. So what we do is we open up the terminal. We open up Firefox actually, and no, we don't have a previous browser. We just go through this. This is the standard Firefox setup. Yay, start browsing. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn all of this off because it's lots of adverts. And then we're going to go to manage more settings. We go search, and we're going to change it to DuckDuckGo because I prefer DuckDuckGo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for FlatHub. And it says apps for Linux. Okay, cool. Oh, no, we need Flatpak. Sorry. And I think it's get set up. I'm going to click Debian, and we have to set up instructions for Debian. So, just like in Windows 7, you can snap the edges, which is quite nice. I'm going to open the terminal. We're going to snap the edges, just make that a little bit bigger. And we are going to copy and paste these commands. Now, generally, you should not copy and paste commands from websites if you do not understand what they are doing. I understand what this is doing. This is telling this is going to install Flatpak. That's what it's going to do. That's what I want to do. So we just enter that sudo apt install Flatpak, and there's a Gnome software plugin, and we're going to do. Oh, it doesn't like me doing that. So we're going to install that. We're not using KDE, so we can ignore this line. And then it says add FlatHub repository. So for Flatpak to actually be able to install stuff, it needs a repository. The one I think that most people use is the FlatHub one. There are probably others. I haven't felt the need to use them. So we're going to just copy and paste. And what it's doing is Flatpak remote add if not exists FlatHub, and then the URL of where the repo is. And the terminal beep is annoying me, so we're going to turn that off. Forget the unnamed. There we go. You press enter on that, and it's going to ask me. It needs it basically needs to elevate its permissions. So we are going to authenticate. If I put sudo on the front of that, it would have done the same thing. And we've set up Flatpak. However, it says, note that directories are not in the search path set by the xdd datadir environment variable. So applications installed by Flatpak may not appear in your desktop until the session is restarted. And this is a little bit annoying because you don't necessarily want to log in and log out when you've installed stuff. I'm going to show you how to fix that in the next video. However, we can actually check whether Flatpak's working. So we can actually go to the Software Center, and if we do, yep, let's restart that. And it's updating the software catalog because I've added Flatpak. Hopefully this won't take long. Right, that's now reloaded. And if we do a search, we go Discord, and we click on there. See, it's got FlatHub here, and this is, see that it's got the FlatHub and it says Flatpak. I'm not going to install that at the moment, and I think that's a good place to end the video. So goodbye and see you in the next video.